You're listening to Otto's Powerhouse. You're listening to Otto's Powerhouse.
What up, everybody? Motherfuckers, motherfuckerettes, welcome to another episode of Pato's Powerhouse. I am Pato Morningstar, your host, and, I hope you're having an awesome Friday. Happy Friday to all you motherfuckers and motherfuckerettes that enjoy having a Friday. I don't, and I ain't hating, but Friday I get to hang out with my AI assistant Friday, so, Friday, say hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am well, thank you for asking.
Friday, we're gonna do what we did last week.
What are we doing today?
Like I said, we're gonna do what we did last week. A tweet and a story. Tweets are kind of like slim pickings right now because with the January 6th hearing, their emotions are still pretty wild. Everything's very political, and I have been very vocal too as far as politics go, because this is what happens. Most of the time we don't want to talk politics, because we are overloaded. We're always fucking hearing it on the news, break room conversations, people talking politics at work. It's just every fucking where, and we are tired of it, and that's what they're counting on too. Because if we don't think about it, if we don't talk about it, then we're not thinking about it. And normally that's what leads to action. That's what makes us take action and do things. So what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, motherfuckers, go out there, vote like your life depends on it. You know what? Talk to the elders, because chances are they're not on Twitter. I'm talking about the elderly people. Yeah, talk to them, because fucking Social Security and Medicare is on the fucking line. These Republicans have made it very clear that that's where they want to find their cuts, because, poor people, helping poor people is such a fucked up thing. You know what I'm saying?
Pato, are we taking this motherfucker political?
No, not really, but, it's important to go out there and vote. It's what keeps our democracy going. We gotta fight for it. It's one of those things, So without further ado, come on, let's get into this tweet so that we can, move on to something else.
I follow funny people on Twitter, because according to the police, doing it in real life is not appropriate.
I follow funny people on Twitter because according to the police, doing it in real life is not appropriate. That's right. You don't want to be stalking people, because they'll call the cops on you and be like, what the fuck are you doing? So if you're going to follow people, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, follow them on Tumblr. Speaking of Tumblr, I didn't even know that Tumblr was still a thing till recently. I was interacting with other podcasters, and I guess they mentioned Tumblr. So the Podcast Shack is responsible for bringing you Cursory Overload and Pato's Powerhouse. So we're on Tumblr. So the Podcast Shack family, you can find it. You can follow us on Tumblr, if you have it, if you do the Tumblr thing. I heard a lot of people, when Elon Musk threatened to buy Twitter, they said, okay, it's time to go back to Tumblr. So I'm like, well, it's a good thing to know. I mean, I was checking it out. It kind of resembles Twitter in a lot of ways. So anyway, the Podcast Shack is on Tumblr. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, Pato Morningstar, Instagram, Pato Morningstar. Follow the Podcast Shack. Follow Cursory Overload. And follow K-Dog, K-Dog75. Even though he's not very active on Twitter, I guess there's not enough. I'm not gonna say porn videos, because I don't think the motherfucker watches porn. I mean, he wouldn't. I mean, who does that? So actually, I'm just kidding, motherfucker. So anyway, are you ready for the story?
I suppose you're going to tell me, anyways.
That's what I was talking about. So that means you're ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, once upon a time, like 29 years ago, Pato, a youngster Pato, like barely out of his teens, early 20s, was working at the airport. And he was working at a time when, before 9/11. So this is like 1993, 1994. And working at the airport was a lot of fun. I mean, I got a job as a security guard watching the rental car lots. We were watching the rental vehicles. We were the security people that asked you for your rental agreement as you were getting ready to leave. So let's just say that movie, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, became very popular with us, because of that one scene where Steve Martin is trying to claim his vehicle because John Candy took it, and he's talking to the lady like, I want my fucking rental car, I want my this and that, and he's just going off on that lady, and she's like, where's your rental agreement? I don't have my fucking rental agreement. And she's like, well, you're fucked. So that used to be the line with us, because a lot of the times, if people had to show the rental agreement, and a lot of people would pack it in their bags, in the trunk, and they didn't want to dig in there to show their fucking rental agreement. So it was like every time that somebody would make somebody dig for it, you could just tell the look in their faces. I mean, they were like, oh, basically, I just told that guy, you're fucked. Anyway, that was one of the things that was going on. But the story today is I was working with some colorful individuals. And these individuals were fueling up at a gas station near the airport. I happened to be fueling up the company van because I was one of the lead people there, driving the van around and checking on other people at a very young age. I'll tell that's a story for another day. But what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, is I'm there fueling the van, and they arrive. I see them. I wave at them, and there's this dude with this older Syrian guy. Now, the older Syrian guy stays in the car, waiting for the other guy to go inside, pay for the gas, and come back out. Also, debit cards was not a thing, so it wasn't like you could pay outside. You had to go inside the gas station. Now, the gas station I'm talking about is on 24th Street in Van Buren. Now, that's nearby the airport, and that's where we had our account for the company to go. We used to go there and fuel up the van. That's where, because before debit cards, they had to set up accounts with the gas stations. So anyway, these guys were just getting fuel for their personal vehicle. They were riding together to work. They were coming into work. I was fueling up the van, getting it ready for the next shift. So 24th Street and Van Buren, 1993, 1994. Van Buren was notoriously known all over the country for being a prostitution track. And yes, they were very colorful. Some of those girls looked like Vegas showgirls. I mean, it was a very colorful scene. It was interesting. I mean, when we went to fuel the van, obviously we took the scenic route back because, well, it was nice to see. I'm just saying, if I'm saying anything. But anyway, the Syrian older guy is sitting in the car, and all of a sudden this beautiful girl, dressed appropriately according to the scene there, walks up to him and it's like, hi honey, would you like a blowjob? Now, the Syrian guy was older. He had a language impediment and a thick accent, so he was like, no thank you, I already have job. And so she kept messing with him. So, come on baby, you want a blowjob. No, I already told you, I already have job. And the dude walks out, and she looks at him, and they laugh it off. And after I'm done fueling up, I walk up and I'm like, hey, what up, Mr. I? I'm just going to say his initial. Well, you picking up on girls over here? No, she offering me job. And I'm like, no, that's not what she offered you. We're like joking around. It's like, I told her, I already have job. So we explained to him what a blowjob was. It was funny to watch an old man turn red. We've just taught someone a valuable language lesson here.
You're listening to Otto's Powerhouse.
All right, so there you have it. That was a story of a time when I was a youngster working with these two people. Like I said, one of them was from Syria, had a language impediment, and he ran into some funky, interesting action there on Van Buren back in the day when Van Buren was notoriously known to be, well, what it was. You know, it was funny because we would be at the gates. They're letting people out, you know, checking the rental agreements, and some motherfuckers were just like, "Hey, which way is Van Buren?" I mean, sometimes we would be like, "You fucking pervs," and we'd give them the wrong directions on purpose. Like, "Yeah, take the 143 south and keep going until you hit Van Buren," which basically took you in the opposite direction. Anyway, depending on the person. But anyway, that's what I'm talking about. What do you think, Friday? Did you like it?
Yes.
Okay. So, like I said, this has been a tweet and a story. Today's tweet was brought to you by @ParentPains. And you want to repeat the tweet just for shits and giggles?
Yes. I follow funny people on Twitter, because according to the police, doing it in real life is not appropriate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Remember, if you're going to follow people, follow them on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. I don't know, do we have a Spacebook? MySpace Booker. That's when MySpace, Facebook, and Twitter combine. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, all I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, motherfuckers, motherfuckerettes, I hope you like the story. I hope, I don't know, you guys are having an awesome Friday. Live each day like it's your last one, because it very well could be, you know. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone, so just, you know, do fun stuff. Be with your loved ones. Those people that matter to you, you know, tell them you love them, show them you love them, and, I don't know, do something fun. Till next time, later.
Otto's Powerhouse is a Podcast Shack production.